Right, rabbit hole time. I told you earlier about the legend. Now, let me tell you the whole thing. There are 18 years missing from the Bible. Jesus appears as a boy of 12, debating with the teachers in the temple. Then he vanishes from the record. The next time we see him, he's 30 years old and beginning his ministry. 18 years gone. The scripture says nothing. The legend, and it's old, older than most people realize, says this: Joseph of Arimathea was a tin trader. He made regular voyages to the west of England, to the mines of Cornwall and the Mendip Hills. And on at least one of those voyages, he brought his young nephew with him. Jesus, in England, walking these hills, learning, preparing for what would become. The legend says he came to Glastonbury, that he studied here, that the years the Bible doesn't account for is where he spent it, at least in part on this island. That before he began his ministry in Galilee, before the miracles, before the Sermon on the Mount, before the cross, he walked on England's mountains green. That's what Blake was asking, not metaphorically, as a question with a possible answer. And here's why it matters. Blake isn't writing a history lesson. He's making an argument. If those feet walked here, if something sacred touched this ground, then England is sacred ground. And what was being done to it in 1804 when the poem was written, the mills, the factories, the grinding of human souls into profit, was a desecration of something holy. That's why the poem is a vow, not a hymn. I will not cease from mental fight. He's saying this land was consecrated and I will fight to restore it. 200 years later, 80,000 people made the same vow. They probably didn't know they were quoting Blake. They didn't need to. The feeling is the same. The ground is the same. Jerusalem is England's unofficial anthem. Think about that. Of all the songs, all the poems, all the words ever written about this country, the English chose this one, a vow to reclaim sacred ground. We sing it at rugby matches and school assemblies and the last night of the proms. We've been singing Blake's vow for 100 years. We knew in our souls, we always knew what it meant. And the legend doesn't end there.